Welcome back. In just a matter of minutes, the Edmonton Oilers and LA Kings drop the puck in Game 3 of the Smythe Finals. Let's go out now to Jiggs McDonald and Herb Brooks at the LA Forum.
Well, the Kings are back home, having to win 4 out of the next 5 games for the Edmonton Oilers to get themselves a victory in this series and advance to the semifinals. This time of the year, you look to depth, and the Kings are a hurting hockey team right now, Herb.
Well, they are. They've got a 4 or 5 out of the lineup, and there's 2 guys that nobody really talks about, Jiggs, even during the regular season, Timmy Waters and Tommy Laidlaw. I think their absence is showing.
Well, they'd hoped to get Tim Waters back in the lineup tonight. That's not going to happen. Apparently, Tom Laidlaw is finished, and the goaltending problem with Kelly Rudy has surfaced again. He's not going to be able to play tonight, and Ron Scott is going to get the start. That's a bit of a surprise to us.
Well, Ronnie, he's had his moments, Jiggs. He's 1 game under 500, and his goals against average is reasonable. He got hurt the first part of March, and he's come back. He's played a few games since then, but personally, I thought maybe they're going to go with Gosselin, just a little more experience.
Well, the Kings are still confident of the victory here tonight. We'll find out what happens in the next little while. Back to the Sports Nightly studios and Daryl Burnett and Betsy Ross.
Thanks a lot, Jiggs and Herb. And here you see it coming up in just a couple of minutes from right now. Edmonton and LA. The Oilers lead that series 2-0, but you can never count out the Great One and the Kings.
And that wraps it up for this shorter edition of Sports Nightly. For all of us here in New York, I'm Betsy Ross. Thanks for watching.
Get ready for a special Sports Illustrated sneak preview.
It's unreal. The man, it's like he's from another planet.
You never know what he's going to do. He doesn't even know. He just does it, and you're like,
duh. They just saw an amazing video cassette presented by Sports Illustrated, starring the most exciting figure in sports today.
Who else? Jordan.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Michael Jordan, Come Fly With Me 1990. Over 40 minutes of the game's ultimate playmaker. Yours free with your paid subscription to SI.
Yes!
Call toll-free and get 26 issues of SI at over 45% off the cover price.
I didn't realize you could save that much.
Including SI's blockbuster baseball preview, the Giant 35th anniversary covers issue, and the red hot swimsuit issue.
So what's the catch?
No catch. You get it all for just 3 monthly installments of $12.97 each. Even use your credit card.
golden. Let's do it.
Save over 45% and get the Jordan video free.
You're going to be giving away a lot of these babies, starting right here.
The following is a presentation of Sports Channel America.
Marty tries one long shot, kicked out by Ranford, and he is shut out. The Los Angeles Kings 7-0. 23-year-old Bill Ranford receiving the credit and the appreciation shown of his teammates. He'll keep that puck. Jelinov takes Sorley back to the net as his fans count down the final seconds. The Oilers have won it by a score of 6-1. Maybe it wasn't as easy as a 6-1 final would indicate when you look at the scoring sheet and the stats tomorrow. But Bill Ranford and the Edmonton Oilers did what they had to do, and then finally in the third period found a way to take things away from the Los Angeles Kings. The city of Edmonton was warmer yesterday than the Southern California metropolis. Perhaps things will heat up for the Kings tonight because they're back home for Game 3 of the Smythe Division Final on Sports Channel America. There is still some cautious optimism amongst the fans arriving here at the Great Western Forum in Inglewood as we get set for Game 3 of this series. I'm Jiggs McDonald with Herb Brooks. The Los Angeles Kings haven't been able to score goals, and now they've got a goaltending problem, and the Kelly Rudy can't play tonight. They've got to find some offense, Herb, and quick.
Well, they really do, Jiggs. Their power play has been non-existent. Gretzky's having an awful time with that's the ticket and getting away from him. And their overall tempo and rhythm of the game has really been sort of void, I guess.
And from the Edmonton standpoint, we've talked about speed. We have to talk about youth. The kid line with Jelinov, Graves, and Murphy, they've been something to watch.
Oh, Jiggs, they've been exciting. They've just added to the overall tempo, of the Edmonton Oilers, and they've just captivated everybody's interest, and they've just given them just that little extra depth they're looking for.
It's a real tall order. The Los Angeles Kings have to win 4 out of the next 5 games to advance, beat these Edmonton Oilers. Jakes McDonald and Herb Brooks here. Back to Sports Nightly and Bob Papa.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen, and we are looking forward to this one. The Edmonton Oilers lead it 2-0 in this best-of-7 series. And when you look at the first 2 games of this series, Edmonton has been all over the Kings. They've outscored them by a 13-1 margin. And the key for the Los Angeles Kings, they have to get other people than Wayne Gretzky involved in the offense, because Esa Tikkanen has done a spectacular job in shadowing Gretzky throughout the series. He is yet to notch a point. The Oilers and Kings coming up on Sports Channel America after this.
The 1990 Stanley Cup playoffs are brought to you by AT&T, the right choice, by Miller Genuine Draft, cold filtered for real draft taste, so tap into the cold, by Gold MasterCard, the best gold card to master the moment, and by Lincoln, what a luxury car should be.
Nothing moves you.
Something wild is coming.
That's why.
The Cougar XR7. It has speed-sensitive steering and anti-lock brakes. But most of all, it has a supercharged 210 horsepower engine. It's becoming a cat-eat-dog world out there.
See your dealer now for low financing or special savings on 1990 Mercury Cougar XR7.
They really want me to take that job in Chicago.
When the moment really matters, there's no better card than MasterCard. With payment flexibility and nearly 3 times the acceptance of American Express. So you can buy what you want, when you want. For the way we really live.
I've been thinking. Please stay.
MasterCard. Master the moment.
Cold filtered. Never heat pasteurized. Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its smooth, real draft beer taste, the world is a very cool place. So tap into the cold. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
On the next SEC College Baseball Game of the Week, the Volunteers of Tennessee collide with the Florida Gators. 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 a.m. Pacific on Sports Channel America, Sunday.
Welcome back to the Forum in Inglewood, California. Yes, the sunglasses, a little rad. And this capacity crowd decked out in rally caps. One for everybody here tonight. Compliments of one of the sponsors of the Los Angeles Kings. You wouldn't know that the team was down 2-0 and outscored 13-1, would you? Nor that they're coming back with a goaltender making his first playoff appearance in postseason play this year. That's Ron Scott. Scott played 12 games for the Kings and a record of 5-6-0. His last start was over a month ago when he faced the Minnesota North Stars. Kelly Rudy with a rib problem, so Ron Scott will get the call here tonight. The crowd is asked to rise. They're using every little weapon they can get. Warren Weeby, undefeated at home when he sings before a game for the Kings. It's about to sing again tonight.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, thee true, no strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, the skies for amber waves of grain, from Papa Mountain's majesty above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown our goodwill, brotherhood, from sea to shining sea.
Los Angeles Kings have posted a record of 9 wins, no losses when that man, Warren Weavy, sings prior to a home game. The officials tonight, in the middle of your picture, referee Andy Van Helleman. That's Gord Brassiker on the left and Kevin Collins on the right. They'll work the lines. And the goaltending chores as we get ready for Game 3 of this series. As we said, it'll be Ron Scott for the Kings, and no mistake, Bill Ranford, who has been outstanding not only in this series, but it's just gotten better and better. The 23-year-old has lowered his goals against average to 2.34, and in the regular season, it was 3.67 for Ron Scott. 5 wins, 6 losses, gave up 40 goals against in playing those 12 games. Kings in the white uniforms, defending the goal to the right. The Edmonton Oilers to the left, and they'll send Messier out to take the face-off. Anderson is on the left, Tikkanen is on the right side. And Los Angeles, from the draw, make an immediate change. And Ellick in the middle, and now Gretzky comes out on the ice, and they try to hit him at center with that long breaking pass. Broken up, and Anderson takes over for Edmonton. He sends Tikkanen across the line. It's a Tikkanen who has 3 goals in the series, hit heavily. Taken into the boards with a good check from Bob Halkitis. But the Oilers hold it in. Trying to go around behind the net was Messier. Checked again by Halkitis. Right, Muni here at the right point. Feeds it into Messier. Drops it off in the corner, and Gretzky gets to it. Giving it to Marty McSorley. And Gretzky trying to untangle with Anderson. Meantime, Robitaille is over the line. Got checked. McSorley follows through. Dumps it in toward the corner. There's Krushelnyski taken off the play by Kevin Lowe. Comes right out to Krushelnyski, and he couldn't pull the trigger on a backhand. And Anderson fails to clear the zone. Tikkanen takes over here on the right side, then overled Anderson, and Tikkanen is bumped back to the play. Meantime, the Oilers have to penetrate at the Los Angeles blue line. Down the right side, it's Granato. Feeds it to Ellick. Drops it back. There's Sandstrom with a shot. He scores! Took a minute and 6 seconds of Game 3 for the Kings to beat Bill Ranford.
Well, Jakes, nobody picked up Thomas Sandstrom. There's a guy that you got to pick up. He was sort of out of sight, out of mind. And just a little quick shot. He saw the semi-screen there, took advantage of it. Billy Ranford had no chance. Went short side high. Excellent shot at Thomas. But earlier, Jakes, LA makes a change quick. They get Gretzky on, try to escape any possible checking assignment. They're going to pick him up. Glenn Anderson slid over to pick up Gretzky, and Edmonton looks sort of a little disoriented. And what we're going to do with Gretzky, are they going to do something with him? Are they going to put a defensive forward on each line? And they just sort of lost it there for a minute, Jakes. I kept watching how that was going to evolve.
The cat and mouse game continues. Gretzky went out on the ice. Out came Tikkanen on a change. Gretzky has come off the ice. Tikkanen has trailed him and gone off to the Edmonton bench. That's Sandstrom in forechecking in the Edmonton zone. Feeds it across. Halkitis with a shot. Ranford got in front of it. The rebound is in his pads and lodged there long enough for the face-off. The Kings are alive and well. They're back into Game 3, leading 1-0.
Did you know that even though your 800 service is working perfectly, unexpected events can keep you from getting calls?
Hello?
But only AT&T automatically covers you with our 800 assurance policy. Within 1 hour, we can reroute 800 calls to any working phone, even at home. Guaranteed. Reliability, another AT&T advantage. Call today about our special 800 offer.
As we do prior to each game in the playoffs, we talked to the 2 coaches today about changes that they make and the difference in coming into this building.
Well, it's going to affect this. There's no question about that. I'm sure that Webster will want to get Gretzky free of ticketing, and we will try our hardest not to let that happen. But it's going to happen more in this game than if we were playing in Edmonton. And also, the other line changes will be in his favor, too. You really can't get your matchups away from home per line, but you should be able to get the majority of them if you're trying to match an individual.
Well, the first game was a 7-0 game. We just played awful. In the second game, I really felt it was a 2-1 game until the power play goals resulted. I felt the club played very well disciplined. And then, unfortunately, we took a couple of bad penalties back to back and decided the outcome of the hockey game. But overall, I can't say that I'm disappointed with the effort, the discipline of the hockey club, because we wouldn't be here to this point if we didn't have it.
A lot of hours of preparation, a lot of videotape watched. And the Kings have come out buzzing here, but now are called for having iced the puck. 17 minutes, 38 seconds remaining in this opening period. Tom Webster back at the bench. You had a long chat with him this morning, Herb. He seemed to be in an up mood.
Well, Tommy's an up guy, Jigs. He had his sort of rally hat on this morning, and that's Tommy Webster. That's vintage Tommy Webster. He is a positive type of guy, and he's just a good guy to be around. And so is that guy, John Muckler. He accused me of shooting too much pool last night with one of his coaches, and I said, yeah, Muck, I did that.
There's a coach. Pool dude. Face-off coming in the circle to the right of Ron Scott. Scott is yet to be tested. The kid line is out there for Edmonton. That's the line with Jelena on the left side, Graves in the middle, and Murphy on the right. The Kings control the draw here, and this is Steve Duchesne giving the puck to Krushelnyski. Went to Alec, fired one in front, turned aside by Ranford. Robitaille holds it in. Alec from back of the net trying to get it out in front is pinched into the boards by Kevin Lowe. This is Adam Graves. Down some room, carries it over center ice. Kings get three men back, and Graves trying to dump it in, had it blocked by Duchesne, who starts out with it. They tumbled to the deck in the center ice area. So it's shot right back in again by Martin Jelena. Ron Scott handling the puck. Robitaille, he's bumped. It's played around behind the Los Angeles goal in forechecking Jelena, but the Kings get to it. Then Alec plays it to the opposite side. Robitaille has to come back for the puck. Does, and a smart little pass into center ice, picked up by Krushelnyski, and he can't get through the Edmonton defense. Huddy and Randy Gregg, the combination at the moment for Edmonton. That's Gretzky back checking. The puck comes into the Los Angeles zone, recovered. Marty McSorley up from behind, play allowed to continue. This is Anderson trying to move in on Robinson. He shoots from a sharp angle and missed. Comes back along the boards, controlled by Mark Messier. Messier puts it in the slot, nobody there, and Gretzky breaks out for the Kings. Oilers get two men, now three back as Gretzky feeds it to Sandstrom, shoots from the blue line, and that is deflected over the glass. And play called with 16 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in the opening period. The Kings up 1-0.
Are we on yet?
We on yet?
Jordan gets the ball. He drives down the left side of the fairway. Bo Jackson catches it at the wall and fires a bullet to McEnroe.
Yes! Wow!
Delectable. And now a word from our sponsor.
Nice shoes.
Gretzky takes the puck up the ice and fires
to back it out of the bunker for a home run.
Score!
Game, set, and touchdown.
Nice shoes. And now, a word from our sponsor.
Holy cow!
Well. The wardrobe has changed somewhat, huh? You know all these people that are at the games. Must be close personal friends by now, Herb.
Yeah, Rocky looks pretty good in that jacket. No question about it. But he's a real hockey fan. He's been here many, many times this year.
And the Kings are in an unusual position for this series. Up 1-0 on the Edmonton Oilers. And they control the draws. McSorley puts it back in the net. Ranford playing it to the corner. Forechecking job being done here by Keith Crowder of the Kings. Anderson is able to free up the puck. Out to the Los Angeles line where Messier is checked by Bob Halkitis, and the Kings come over the line on the right side. Drop pass for Tonelli. Shoots just wide of Ranford. Halkitis moves in after it, but Messier was there for Edmonton, and out they come. Greg Muni gets to center ice, turned around on the play by Halkitis, and Tonelli fires it right back into the Edmonton zone. Crowder knocked it down, couldn't recover. Jari Curry drops it back for Muni. Muni, Smith. Turned it over in the center ice area. Kings fail to pick it up. This is Curry breaking in. Good back-checking job done by Steve Duchesne. Duchesne trying to get away from Lamb. Went to the right side, and Sandstrom forces Edmonton to chase it. They played 4.5 minutes of the opening period as Sandstrom steals the puck, centers, and Granato shot one wide. Steve Duchesne waits for it over on the right side. Neat little spinorama move. Got it away from Simpson. Put it back in the net. Here's Ellick trying to feed it in front. Loose puck, a backhander. Ranford down. It's kicked out. Robinson with the rebound, and he shot it wide. Steve Duchesne peels off the right wing. Shot it wide of Ranford again. Kings are putting on pressure like you wouldn't believe. Something that we hadn't seen in the first 2 games, except perhaps the early stages of Game 1.
Jiggs, let me add this very quickly. We haven't seen Edmonton stand around like they have for 5 minutes.
Precisely. The Kings have them wondering. Edmonton has iced the puck. Now we got a skirmish over in front of the Edmonton bench. Linesman Kevin Collins over to make sure that nothing serious happens. The 2 benches are right up against one another here. You look at the Edmonton players' bench. There's flurry.
A lot of flurry. Ruotsalainen and number 26 of Edmonton had just an awful time in front of the net with any of the LA forwards, especially big number 7. He just elected to go to Granato, a smaller forward, and that's a problem with Ruotsalainen. He's a tremendously effective and a gifted offensive hockey player, but in the traffic in front of his nets, they give up something.
John Muckler telling us before the game tonight that he hopes they win this game. He'd rather be up 3 games to none than up 2-1 and having played Game 4 here. But I'll take my chances, but I really want to win this one.
Kings are going to have to start moving their feet like we saw the first 2 games. They've just been standing around here.
It's Orley with a shot off the post. King flattened in front of the net. And a penalty call coming. Tikkanen is going to get the gate for it, taking Kontos down in front of the net. And with the score, Los Angeles 1, Edmonton nothing. Let's pause for a regional break. Sports Channel America's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs will continue after these messages.
Sports Channel America and USA Today want to put you in the Stanley Cup Finals. We're giving away round-trip coach airfare for 2, 4-day, 3-night hotel accommodations, and tickets to the first 2 games of the Stanley Cup Finals. Call to order USA Today and be entered automatically, or send your name, address, and daytime phone number on a postcard to the address on the screen. Postcards must be received by May 3rd, and you must be at least 18 years old to enter. Win a trip to one of these great cities in the USA Today Sports Channel America Stanley Cup Finals giveaway.
In the penalty box is Randy Gregg, not Esa Tikkanen. It is a holding penalty called 5.5 minutes into the period.
Well, again, LA's forwards are really moving. Jakes, they're driving for that net, going net, trying to take the sidelines away. And there's a good example happened there. And Billy Ranford had a breaker. His goalie's favorite friend, good old goalpost.
In this series, the Los Angeles power play has blinked once. Their only goal in Edmonton the other night, scored by Kontos. 10 power play chances thus far. That was their big weapon against Calgary when they went 10 for 46 with a man advantage. And that shot from the point from Benning was just wide. Benning puts it back in the net. Lowe stepped in front of Gretzky, slaps it off the boards, and hits Benning. Sends one toward the net off Lowe, and he's dumped it down the ice.
The stats don't bother me too much in a power play. It tells a story after a long period of time. What bothered me, LA and Edmonton, they didn't have anything going. They didn't have any shots. They just had no rhythm in their power play. That scares me more than not getting a goal. You have some opportunities. You have a few shots. You don't get it. Okay.
Now Messier brings Edmonton across the line, short-handed, and ran into the check, and Duchesne centered. There's Lowe with a shot going off the heel of his stick. Picked up by Benning. Minute and 15 seconds left in this power play. Duchesne handling the puck. The pass to Benning. Benning turning on Tikkanen. Now managed to move it to the right side, and Duchesne dumps it around the boards. Kontos goes into forecheck. The puck went to Sandstrom. He's bumped by Tikkanen. And Kevin Lowe clears it to the blue line. Robinson coming back. Tikkanen knocked it away right to Curry. Curry over the line. Lets it fly. He scores! Ari Curry at the blue line, but did the whistle sound? The 2 linesmen, Collins and Brossiker, come in to talk with referee Andy Van Helleman. Perhaps the whistle sounded.
Well, Jakes, that was a very questionable offside there, and I think that whistle did blow. Edmonton's forward just was barely able to hang out that line. Then he fell off the last part. But here, Curry, this thing just changed hands a little bit. And it went off the defenseman's stick and just sort of handcuffed Ronnie Scott. course, Yari Curry can really shoot a puck, as we know. You look at the stats that he's put on the board here in the playoffs. We were talking about that other night, Jigs.
Curry and the referee, Van Helleman, had a long discussion. No goal. Curry shorthanded. And still 53 seconds left in the holding penalty against Randy Gregg. Ikonen winning the draw here, got it back. And Charlie Huddy dumps it down the ice. This is the veteran defenseman Larry Robinson setting up the Los Angeles power play. His pass just out of the reach of Duchesne. Now Krushelnyski comes over the line. It's tipped back to Ellie. To Robinson, trying to move in on Curry. Puts it back in the net. Here's Krushelnyski feeding the right point. That's Duchesne. In it goes. Robitaille feeds it right back. Krushelnyski sets things up over on the right side. Couldn't find anybody open. Then spotted Robitaille for a shot that's blocked. Robitaille digs it out of the far corner, puts it in front. And Curry quickly dumps it out through center, missing Tikkanen. 8 seconds remaining. That's the power play time. Edmonton thought they had tied the game with a shorthanded goal, but it was offside, and now the teams are at 6's side again. Craig Muni gets McTavish loose. The shot is blocked by McSorley. Marty McSorley plays it through Messier. On the near side, the Kings having trouble clearing the zone. Krushelnyski tied up. Messier takes it to the corner, puts it out in front. It bounced away from McTavish, who was open. This is Luc Robitaille. The Kings play the right wing boards with a pass to Todd Alec. Comes in over the line, shoots one. That's wide. Comes off the glass and recovered by the Edmonton Oilers. Glenn Anderson dumps it into the center ice zone. Halkitis back in the LA defense. It's picked up by Gretzky. Gretzky trying to move in on his old buddy Lowe. Has given it to Mikko Makela, and he's surrounded. 3 Oilers right on him. Makela getting a chance to play tonight as Bukestad went out with an injury in game 2. Here are the Oilers over center ice. Anderson can't get the pass off in time. Then he gets bumped at the blue line, puts the fist up in the face of Halkitis. It's going to be a penalty on Anderson. Scott heads for the bench. Ruotsalainen controls the puck, and now the whistle. And a penalty against Glenn Anderson. With the score, the Kings 1, the Oilers nothing. Let's pause for a regional break. Sports Channel America's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs will continue after these messages.
Sports Channel America cranks up the power this summer with nitro-breathing piston-powered action. See 8 top NASCAR races in the Grand National Championship. The series takes off April 28th with the Busch Grand National 200, only on the Sports Channel America network. Monday, it's the pivotal 3rd game of the Wales Division Finals. The series between the Rangers and the Caps shifts to Landover. Or see the Bruins invade the Forum for a war with the Canadiens. The Stanley Cup playoffs on Sports Channel America, Monday.
You look at Glenn Anderson in the penalty box, got the fist up in the face of Bob Halkitis at the 8:30 mark of this opening period.
Well, there's a little break that LA needed right away, that offside call. Now we're just going to go a little fast forward now. Look at Glenn Anderson, a little frustrated. Took a little shot there to Halkitis. But more importantly, Jigs, this is a no-show for the first 9 minutes of the Edmonton Oilers, who have been so impressive in game number 1 and 2.
Think back to the fact that the Kings did not lose a home game in that opening round with the Calgary Flames. And they keep the magic alive here with Edmonton tonight. On the power play, Gretzky with the puck, put it out in front off Ranford. Gretzky has it again. Look toward Cotto, centered one, and the man coming in a little late was Duchesne. Out comes Yari Curry for the Oilers. Curry likes to dump it in as his team goes for a player change. Scott will leave it for Contos. McSorley joining the power play. Takes the pass from Contos. Over center, 3 Oilers back as he crosses the blue line. Got bumped by Lowe. Puts the puck in deep, however. Muni is there. Right, Muni has given it to Tikkanen. Now to Curry. Curry goes to the left side. That's Muni. Drop pass to Lowe, and his shot was blocked. Ends up behind the net. Muni centers, but through his teammate McTavish, and out comes Robitaille. Fred Gretzky coming up to join the play is Benning. Gretzky gets them over the line. Shoots one that's just wide. Puck ends up over on the left wing boards, and it's cleared up by Craig McTavish. 2 Oilers collided heavily back in the Edmonton zone. Muni is loading it up. Here's Robitaille. Centers. The drive is just wide off Krushelnyski's stick. Lowe turns it over to Gretzky. Comes in front of the net. Finds the man, Robinson, and he shot it wide. Now Gretzky with a drive that's blocked in the goal mouth. Lowe covers it. The Kings can't dig it out from under the defenseman. Long time. The puck still in play. No whistle. It's banged right on, and Ranford is able to make the save. There'll be some complaints put up here, but a very tired and hurting Craig Muni is just now slumped to the ice. And they're calling for the trainer, Ken Lowe, to attend to the veteran Edmonton defenseman.
Well, Jigs, Muni and Lowe collided right on top of the circle there in the defensive zone, went heavily, and Muni just had a hard time after that. And there was a scrum in there, and Andy Van Helmen, one thing he'll do, Jig, he won't blow that whistle when there's a lot of traffic. He's always saying, move the puck, move the puck. That's one thing he's noted for. He saw a loose puck there, and Muni was really struggling, and he's still on the ice. But he and Kevin Lowe hit rather heavily on top of the circle. They just didn't see one another. And L.A. had a couple of great opportunities. Krushelinski had a shot in the low slot. Robinson had a great opportunity and a tremendous pass from Gretzky come there. He missed the net. And again, L.A. has been very impressive in the first 10 minutes of play.
I know you can make statistics do just about anything you want them to, but with that flurry and what appeared to be so many scoring chances, only one shot on goal officially with this man advantage.
Well, there's no question. The first one, Jakes, when Randy Gregg was in the penalty box, they only had one shot also. And this thing, they'll, again, get the shot on net is what you're saying, and which, you know, is a very good statement.
Los Angeles leads 1-0. Edmonton appeared to have tied it. Shorthanded during that penalty to Gregg. Yari Curry put the puck in the net, but there was no goal. Kevin Collins making the call on the offside. Let's listen to what happened. Whistle before the shot was taken by Curry, the veteran Kevin Collins, who's been around the league a long time, making the offside call. And now as we again look in the direction of the Edmonton goal, that area, Craig Muni is holding the towel, as you see, to the left side of his forehead and is headed toward the Edmonton dressing room. Some collision over on the left side of the Edmonton end of the ice. And by the time Muni slumped to the ice, the trainer called, we see now that there is quite a bit of blood just off to the left of the Edmonton goal. And of course the towel to mop things up here as Muni is being taken to the dressing room. The Los Angeles Kings lead the Edmonton Oilers by a score of 1-0.
It is a race from California to New York to win America's favorite light beer. It is the Tour Delight. Here comes the Jamaican bobsled team, Plecco and White, and of course, Run DMC.
Hey guys, I know a shortcut. Follow me.
Well, there goes Woody Harrelson. They all want to win the less filling beer that really tastes great, Miller Lite. And so, it's on to New York.
Canada. All right. What's on the map?
Welcome back to the Great Western Forum in Inglewood, California. I'm Jakes McDonald with Herb Brooks. Well, that's not us. That's probably not even one of the stars of the game tonight, but the sunglasses, the rally cap, and there are the shots on goal. The Kings have rallied, as you see, leading 1-0 and out shooting Edmonton 7-0. The Kings were accused of not showing up for game one of this series. Edmonton is yet to get on track in this game.
Well, their game, Jigs, is a high-tempo game, a skating game, a speed game. That's only going to work when you move your legs. They're not a very good defensive-oriented team. They don't like to, just play a bump and grind type of game, to slow the pace down. And boy, when they get caught between the two, they really struggle.
Numbers on Steve Kasper, playoffs, a goal and an assist. He is out there to take the face-off with Gretzky on the right, Tonelli on the left. Still 19 seconds left in Glenn Anderson's roughing penalty.
Talk about Stevie Kasper taking a playoff. He had a tremendous series against Calgary. Took most of the draws, then he won a high percentage of them.
And he just won the draw here, getting the puck back to Halkitis. Halkitis lets it go, and it was just wide as Tonelli was screening. Kasper feeds Gretzky, went off his stick, and has been shot out of there down the ice by Steve Smith. Ron Scott out to handle it. Final 5 seconds, ticking off in Anderson's penalty time. We passed the midway point of the opening period at the Great Western Forum. This is John Tonelli trying to get away from Chicken. He fed Kasper, goes up the middle. Backhands it wide of Ranford. This is Randy Gregg. He and Steve Smith, the defense combination. Smith turned it over. This is Kasper off the right side to John Tonelli. Shoots. That's blocked at the defense. Tonelli with it again. Gregg got to him, and Messier gets to the puck. Messier tripped up. Play allowed to continue as the Oilers come to center. Anderson carrying the puck. That turned around by McSorley. And Alcides clears the zone. Tonelli reaching for it, couldn't make contact. Now Charlie Huddy trying to get the Oilers across the line. Can't do it cleanly. L.A. making a player change. Krushelnyski, who had just come off the bench, broke up the Edmonton attack and forced them back. Evan Lowe unable to clear the zone initially, and now it's Anderson dumping it to center. It's Robinson going cross ice, but out of the reach of Robitaille. Evan Lowe has given it to Graves. Up the left side, Anderson with it, checked at center, went right back to Graves, and he can't get through the traffic. Down the left side comes Alec. Rod Alec looks for a man in the middle. Centers Robitaille with a shot that's blocked. Krushelnyski can't find a handle on the rebound, and the Oilers cleared off to the right side. This is Graves. Trying to move in on Robinson. Couldn't cut around the veteran defenseman. Robinson has dumped it out. Ruotsalainen waits for his teammates to get back on side. 8 minutes remaining in the opening period. The Kings leading 1-0. Murphy trying to put it out in front. Now Joe Murphy gets to it again. Shot put off the skate and just wide. Rod Alec has given it to Robinson. Pulled it away from the check. Carries it across the Edmonton line. Picked up by Smith, but the play is offside. And play is called. 7 minutes, 51 seconds remaining in the opening period in Los Angeles.
Chocolate is scrumptious when it crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch. Scrumptious.
More and more people are finding more and more reasons to choose the Discover card. Here's one. Cash back for every charge. It pays to Discover.
Oh, they are out again tonight. There's James Woods, front and center, front row seat. Got the Bob Uecker seat, huh? And Tony Danza has a good seat. Tony's always here these days, isn't he, Herb?
Well, there's a lot of people that are just starting to get a feel, you know, the National Hockey League, Jigs. It's good to see. And we can go back just a year ago, Jigs, a couple seasons ago now, when Wayne Gretzky in that opening night was still one of the most memorable nights I've seen around professional hockey.
Yeah, that was a fun night. The city has responded. The team has responded. Now they'll see if they can get enough put back together again to get out of this series. They have to take it step by step, and that would be to get into the series tonight with a win over Edmonton. They're outshooting them 7-0, leading by a score of 1-0 as McSorley played it to the left side. Here in the center ice zone. It's knocked away from John Tonelli, but picked up by McSorley. McSorley to Tonelli. He's tipped it into the Edmonton end of the ice, and Ruotsalainen quickly gave it to Curry, then right back to Ruotsalainen. Asper forechecking.
One of the things that's worked in LA's advantage tonight, Jigs, is their defense moving up, closing the gap, allowing very little room for the speedy Edmonton forwards to get into those seams that they need.
Not similar to the way they played in the Calgary series, right?
Yes.
Kings have cleared the zone. Mark Lamb back on the puck, has given it to Curry. Simpson is the other forward. He was picked up immediately. So the Oilers are forced to dump it in, and Huddy's effort skips over the glass and on into the crowd. Game 4 of the series will be right here on Tuesday night.
Jigs, all little battles have been won by L.A. They're moving the puck faster, their feet, they're going fast, everything else. They've been an impressive hockey club this first period.
And the man who was behind the bench last year when these two teams met in the opening round of the Smythe Division playoffs is at the game tonight. He was in Edmonton for Game 2. We refer to Rob Fatorik, who is scouting now for the Quebec Nordique. Telling us the other day at the airport that he's looking at possible players that would be left unprotected in the waiver draft next fall. So obviously Quebec doing their homework, hoping to pick up some people to add to their lineup.
We also happen to see Bobby Plager here tonight doing a little advanced scouting for the St. Louis Blues. And when St. Louis won the last 9 seconds, he was down watching, and boy, his face light up, Jigs. Big goal by Gino Cavallini with 9 seconds left.
Mr. Plager, you could hear him all over the place. And St. Louis won it 5-4, and one other guy who was sitting with us watching just turned and walked away. Jim Pappen, who's here scouting on behalf of the Chicago Blackhawks. The Blues go back home and take a 2-1 lead in that series. As you saw, winning by a minute. And here's Gretzky trying to set it up for Robitaille. Turns, what a save by Ranford. Now the Oilers Trying to find Klima moving down the left side. McSorley comes back. Klima touched it first, thus no icing call. Quickly, Krushelnyski trying to drop it back. Got away from Anderson, and Scott at the side of the net covers the puck and holds it for a face-off. Some pushing and shoving in the goal mouth. Peter Klima mixing it up a little with Bob Halkitis. 6 minutes and 5 seconds remaining. Marty McSorley, he's not known as the menace here as he was in Edmonton.
No question, he's a big fan favorite right here.
There's back John McEnroe. Was he mouthing in the opening series, Kings and Rangers? Is that what I saw him saying one night watching Sports Channel America?
Yeah, you're right, Jakes. Kings and Rangers. That would be a great series, by the way.
The Edmonton Oilers think they've got a lot to say about that.
Well, they better start moving their feet, Jakes.
John Muckler sending out the Messier line. He's mixed it up a little. He's got Klima on the left, Anderson on the right with Messier in to take the face-off.
All of a sudden, it's 6 minutes left this period. Edmonton hasn't had a shot on goal.
And Casper gets the face-off here. Get it to Robinson, who moves it up the boards. Messier unable to control the puck. And down the right side is Mike Krushelnyski. Anderson bothering him all the way down the ice. Krushelnyski centered it off Casper's stick. And Glenn Anderson moves it off the right side, off Klima, as a matter of fact. This is Granato. Spins it back inside the Edmonton zone. Steve Smith back. Gretzky forechecking, forcing Smith to play it to the line. It's held in. Sandstrom to Gretzky. Looks toward Granato. Gretzky can't do it by himself as Steve Smith got a chunk of them. Now Tikkanen just dumps it off the boards at center. That's going to go the length of the ice. We'll get a whistle against Edmonton. Now waved off at the final second. Tony Granato gets out of the zone. Gets away from the check, too. Comes over the line. Shoots one wide of Ranford. Charlie Huddy trying to move it up the boards. The Kings pinch in, but the puck comes out to center. It's 2-on-2 as Graves carries it down the right side. Joined now by Tikkanen, and Graves shot it well wide of the net. Robinson cruises to the right side. Feeds it up to Thomas Sandstrom, who has the game's only goal. Sandstrom dumped it in. Kevin Lowe turns, looks, and tries to dump it out. Penalty being delayed. Now called against the Los Angeles Kings. A late call. Marty McSorley is ticketed, it appears, by referee Andy Van Hellemond, and Edmonton will go to the power play.
Hey, little guy, you're beginning to look a lot like your daddy. Pretty soon you're going to be growing hair. But I'm starting to lose mine, so I just did something lots of us big guys are doing. I went to the doctor. He said there are things that can help. Hey, just because we start out bald doesn't mean we have to end up that way.
Doctors have treatment programs that work. So see your doctor or call this number.
Marty McSorley sitting in the penalty box. As you see, a high sticking call. A little less than 5 minutes to go in the period. Here's the reason for the call on number 33.
You know, Jakes, I think they're both, the referees here are just a little uptight. Because remember the last time these two teams played here, it was that sort of long evening, I guess, Jakes, with 86 penalties called. And I think you see the linesmen jumping into the things. They don't want any carryovers. But we didn't see that in game 1 and 2. We just saw, you know, a game that was up and down. And it was, you know, good, intelligent physical play. But we didn't see anything like they had last time here in this building.
No, this only the third penalty as Simpson breaks in on the power play and scores. Simpson showing some patience, holding the puck, forcing Scott to make the move, and Edmonton has tied it on a power play goal.
Jakes, that was their first shot on net, and they score a goal on the thing, but what they did is very intelligent, and Craig Simpson just, this is what you call stretching the zone, and he just button-hooked inside the offensive blue line and got him behind the LA defenseman, and he had enough presence just to make the fake going across Scott, went back to the short side. Nice move there, and Ronnie Scott again got caught flat-footed. When you get that's a tough situation. If he's out and moving, then Simpson has the opportunity to go across the net. So that was a nice, intelligent play by Craig Simpson, but a big pass and an intelligent play by Edmonton, and that's what they'll do. They'll stretch the zone. They'll use the width and the depth of the ice, Jakes.
Simpson from Messier and Smith. Yeah, they do that as well. Probably better than most teams, and maybe better than any of the other teams in the league. Curry comes over the blue line. Edmonton has moved the puck so well the first 2 games in this series. When you think back to the series against the Winnipeg Jets that went the full 7 games as well. Casper clears the zone. And Randy Gregg will pick it up at the Edmonton blue line. Simpson's goal at 15:26 comes on the power play. Crowder into forecheck, knocked the puck loose, and now it's dumped down the ice and wide of Ron Scott. They'll hold it up for Halkitis as McSorley comes back, stepping in front of Klima. The puck went to John Tonelli. Ahead for Casper. Oilers get 3 men back. Casper cuts to the right side, centered one. It went off Crowder and just wide of the net. John Tonelli gives it to Crowder. Keith Crowder tied up in the corner is taken down, and there'll be a penalty against the Edmonton Oilers. Los Angeles will get a chance on the power play, their 3rd opportunity in this opening period.
Not only is the 3rd chance, Jigs, a nice time for them to break this tie with 3:36 left. They scored that first goal. They are 4-0 when they score first in the playoffs and 3-0 when they score first at home. So that's a very symbolic goal.
Yeah, it really is. And now this penalty to Curry, also symbolic. The holding penalty takes off the ice one of the better Edmonton penalty killers.
Jig, sometimes when Edmonton, we just take a look at this, and Yuri Curry, who's known as, one of the more gentlemanly type of hockey players in the National Hockey League, those penalties are few and far between, but he just got caught up in a little traffic there, and he pulled the guy down. Sometimes, Jigs, when you're not playing well, and all of a sudden you get a power play into your score, and you say, this is going to be easy anyway. Well, it's not.
We'll see what unfolds here now after that shot from Duchesne was blocked, and the Oilers clear the zone. Robinson and Duchesne on the points. Chris Contos is up front along with Sandstrom and Gretzky on this front end of the power play. Robinson puts it on the stick of Contos. Oilers get 3 men back. Contos comes over the line, trying to go through the defense, gets help from Sandstrom. Sandstrom putting it back in the net. McTavish knocked it away from Gretzky. It's held in. This is Duchesne to the corner. Gretzky lets it go round the boards. Chasing it is Contos. But the Oilers are able to pick it up, and Messier sends McTavish to center ice. 1-on-1 with Duchesne. McTavish across the line. Delayed penalty call coming against Los Angeles. Messier was rubbed out at the blue line. It'll be an interference penalty on Larry Robinson. So there goes the Los Angeles power play after only 47 seconds.
One thing that Edmonton will do, they'll go on the attack shorthanded. They scored 22 shorthanded goals this year, so they'll put pressure on that power play team, and they will draw some of those penalties and negate the other team's power play. That's the case right there, and this is one guy that can really put the pressure on. Right behind Mac T there, Craig McTavish is Mark Messier, and Larry Robinson just pulled him down.
Andy Van Helleman spotting it, so Robinson sits for interference, called at 17-11. Tommy Webster will send out Duchesne and Benning as his defense combination. He'll have Casper and Ellick up front. They huddle in front of Ron Scott, who's faced only the one shot, that by Simpson. Tied the game at 15:26 of the first period. For Edmonton, the forwards are Anderson and Klima. Anderson winning the draw, feeds it to the blue line. Steve Smith lets it go, just missed. Smith and Ruotsalainen on the points, by the way. Ellick has dumped it back in the net for Duchesne. It's away from one check. Now it's touched by Benning to Casper. Plays it up the right side. Ellick takes it off the boards. Can't cut it in time. And the Oilers, Steve Smith turns on Ellick. Bumped on the boards. Nudges the puck on to Ruotsalainen. Hale Ruotsalainen. Back to Smith. Pulled up on the forechecking of Ellick. Oilers dump it in, and Benning turns and shoots it out to center ice for Gretzky, who waited for it. He gets a step on Ruotsalainen. Gretzky shoots, hits the post. Here's the rebound, and Tonelli's shot is blocked. Gretzky from back of the net to Tonelli. A backhander is blocked. Now a shot from Benning is blocked. Gretzky can't get to it again. Tonelli does. Centers it in front. Benning's shot goes off Ranford, and back comes Klima. Less than 2 minutes to go in the opening period as Klima comes up 2-on-1. Holds it now, shoots, hit the post to the right of the net. Gretzky has been shaken up. He is headed back to the Los Angeles bench, hurting as the Oilers clear the puck into the center ice zone. McSorley gets to it. Plays it down the ice. 1 second remaining in the penalty to Curry. Now he is out of the box. And the Oilers have a man advantage as Messier comes to the Los Angeles line. Got checked. Curry brings it in, but it's offside. Play called with 1 minute and 27 seconds left in the period. Wayne Gretzky, let's check his condition at the Los Angeles bench.
You've got to be worried about Wayne Gretzky's back. Jigs, he was out for a long period of time. He's still not at the top of his game. He's just playing through it, which any athlete is going to do in the playoffs. Now, Ruotsalainen, who's got great speed, finally caught Gretzky. Gretzky had good wood on that thing, hit the far post, and Johnny Tonelli and he's had another good year. Keeps on working. He has a couple opportunities. All Edmonton's players now are chasing the puck instead of someone grabbing somebody, and then it'll come back to them. But again, Gretzky was pulled heavily and pushed heavily into the boards by Steve Smith. And again, you'll see that Edmonton is losing sight of their people and just following the puck. And LA had a great flurry there, Jakes.
Yeah, they really did. You think of the goal post, and then the Oilers come right back, hitting the post at the Los Angeles goal. 1 minute and 14 seconds left in the opening period. 1-1 is the score. It's been Sandstrom for the Kings, Simpson for the Oilers. Murray comes to center ice. He's giving it to Charlie Huddy, who dumps it around the boards. Greg waiting for it at the right point. They can't get it to him. Now they do, and he holds it in with a long pass. Out of the reach of Huddy, and it's McSorley dumping it out into center ice. Andy Gregg to Messier to Gregg. Simpson handling it at center ice. Robinson is back on the ice. Here's Simpson. Robinson reached in, took it away from him. Comes in on goal, shoots, he scores! Yeah, you gotta believe the veteran Larry Robinson got his legs going.
Well, they did, Jakes. He had a great chance at first earlier in the power play, and there he just split the defenseman. Nobody picked him up. He split low. He split Steve Smith, and you can't do that. Too many stick checks here by Edmonton. Nobody's grabbing him. And again, just perseverance by the veteran, surefire Hall of Famer. And Billy Ranford had no chance on that.
Robinson unassisted. His second goal of the playoffs at the 19-20 mark of the opening period. Heard hockey people talk so often about last-minute goals. Here's a chance for another one, and they score! Alec! They're 11 seconds apart. Robinson and now Ellick.
Well, this is very rewarding for LA because they've played a great period. You look at the Edmonton defenseman backing off for that line, allowing LA's forward just to get possession. And again, get Goodwood on it. Billy Ranford stopped it, but it's dribbled off his glove into the net. And again, this is a very, very uninspired up in the first 20 minutes by a very good Edmonton Oilers team.
And we have seen a new Los Angeles Kings playoff record established, the fastest 2 goals in the club's history. Robinson at 19:20, Ellick at 19:31 of the first period. Into the knuckleball, Ranford got a chunk of it, but couldn't hold it. And Todd Ellick scores from Krushelnyski and Steve Duchesne.
Few things certain in the National Hockey League playoff, Jakes, that you're not going far when you don't have goalkeeping, and you're not going far when you don't show up. It's almost like another certainty is a dog chasing a car, Jakes. But you've got to be moving or you're out of it. Those are certainties.
Another from the chapter read today, huh?
Well, it makes sense, today. But I don't know who's in this in the dark sweaters, Jakes, but it's not the team we saw game 1 and 2. And to take nothing away from LA, I don't mean anything because they've showed up, but they played a good game in game 2, Jakes, too, so they were working.
Final second ticks off in the opening period. And what a rally by Los Angeles after Edmonton had come back to tie it. The Kings take a 3-1 lead, and they get the crowd standing and cheering again. They are solidly behind this team, hoping to stamp out the Edmonton Oilers, the Basin as they call it, greater Los Angeles area. And at the end of 1, it is the Los Angeles Kings 3, the Edmonton Oilers 1. We'll have a recap, intermission underway in just a moment.
Strap yourself in for high-speed excitement. Auto racing is coming this summer to the Sports Channel America Network.
They called him Duke, the legendary John Wayne. From the gunfights of the Old Southwest to the brutal battles in the South Pacific, John Wayne captured the spirit of America. Now, Time Life Video presents the John Wayne Collection, all his most memorable movies at last on home video. Start with the classic Rio Bravo, your first John Wayne movie in this spectacular collection. It's yours for the special introductory price of only $14.99, a savings of 25%. If you keep it, you'll receive another great John Wayne movie every other month. There's no minimum to buy. Cancel anytime. So call now to get John Wayne in Rio Bravo for only $14.99. Have your credit card ready. Here's how to order.
To order your John Wayne collection, call 1-800-841-0300 or send just $14.99 plus $3.23 shipping and handling to John Wayne Collection, P.O. Box 4670, Omaha, Nebraska.
Get ready for a special Sports Illustrated sneak preview.
It's unreal. The man, it's like he's from another planet.
You never know what he's going to do.
He doesn't even know. He just does it, and you're like,
duh. They just saw an amazing video cassette presented by Sports Illustrated, starring the most exciting figure in sports today.
who else? Jordan.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. Michael Jordan, Come Fly With Me 1990. Over 40 minutes of the game's ultimate playmaker. Yours free with your paid subscription to SI.
Yes!
Call toll-free and get 26 issues of SI at over 45% off the cover price.
I didn't realize you could save that much.
Including SI's blockbuster baseball preview, the giant 35th anniversary covers issue, and the red hot swimsuit issue.
So what's the catch?
No catch. You get it all for just 3 monthly installments of $12.97 each. Even use your credit card.
Golden. Let's do it.
Save over 45% and get the Jordan video free.
You're going to be giving away a lot of these babies starting right here.
After one period of Game 3 in Inglewood, California, it is the Kings 3, the Edmonton Oilers 1. Thomas Sandstrom opened the scoring for Los Angeles a minute and 6 seconds into the period, his fifth in the playoffs from Elick and Granado. And then at the 15:26, the only shot on goal by the Oilers is a power play goal for Craig Simpson, his sixth in the playoffs. But in the final minute, a new Los Angeles playoff record, 11 seconds apart. Robinson unassisted, then Elick from Krushelnyski and Duchesne at 19:31, and the Kings have a 3-1 lead. And look at the way they dominated. Shots on goal, Los Angeles 13, the Edmonton Oilers 1, and it's the Kings' full measure for that lead. I'm joined in our studio by Joe Murphy, and certainly it's not where you want to be right now, I guess, Joe, but tell me how the Oilers are feeling, how you personally are feeling after that first period blitz.
Oh, we're not too happy about it. They come out hard on us and got a lot of shots on net. And, they're up 3-1. We give up 2 late goals, and we just can't have that. This is an important game for us. We want to win this game and put a lot of pressure on them. And if they win this game, they're right back in the series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people thinking that they had to show up, they being the Kings tonight, and now some of us are saying, well, where are the Oilers? Who are those guys in the blue uniforms? I don't imagine John Muckler will let you go back to the second period without some words on this.
Oh no, he's obviously going to be upset with the way we played. I think we lacked a lot of intensity out there, and but it's the first period. We knew they were going to come out flying, and we're not out of the games by any means, and we're just going to do our best to get back in the game.
Talk to me a little bit, Joe, about the chemistry. I know you guys have been very patient. This young line playing in the shadows of Curry and Messier and Anderson and so on, but now you've come together and getting some good reviews here in the playoffs.
Yeah, all three of us are working pretty hard. I think we all got pretty good speed, and we're just working hard trying to get on the defense and do some hitting, and our ice time's increased a little bit as each game goes on, and if we can get out there and be a threat every time we're on the ice to score a goal, then I think John will put us out there even more.
What was the major adjustment that you had to go through in the trade after going from Detroit to Edmonton?
Oh, probably just getting down the system. It's a lot, it's more freewheeling, it's more skating, a lot of forechecking, and you're working in fives in a system on the ice, and it's just a different hockey team, and I really enjoyed here, and I'm happy about the move.
We're happy that you're able to join us. Wish we were under a little different circumstances, surely, and we appreciate your time.
Thanks.
The Los Angeles Kings are leading the Edmonton Oilers by a score of 3-1. Bob Papa will join us in our Sports Channel studios following these messages.
Wow, this cleaning's taking forever.
Oh, it's not going too well, is it? You mean you're not done yet?
We're not even close.
Some people have not yet tried Tartar Control Crest.
I can't believe this.
And some people have. That was easy, because Tartar Control Crest can help make cleaning easier.
A new world's record, huh?
After all, it is the toothpaste more dentists recommend. Highly commendable.
Great. See you later.
Tartar Control Crest. It's hard on tartar and easy on you.
Do I get a lollipop?
We tested STP oil treatment under the worst possible conditions. In the taxi cabs in New York City. The result? Engine lift wear was reduced by up to 50%. And now there's an STP for your newer car, too.
You've just discovered your car has a clear coat finish, which your ordinary wax just ruined. Simonized non-abrasive wax won't scratch today's clear coat finishes, and that'll save you a lot of grief.
Me and Joe were two of the most feared players in football. Now we want to try more peaceful pursuits, like fishing. We brought along some cold Miller Lights. The Light's not some watered-down version of a regular beer. It's a less filling beer that really tastes great. You ready to try and catch a fish, Randy? Okay, Joe, I'll go first. Hey, fish, get in the boat! Oh, this fish is pretty easy.
It's no fish story. When it's Miller Lite, less filling tastes great.
Hey, that was too small. Get out of here!
Nothing moves you. Cougar LS. It's sleek, like a cat. And its speed-sensitive steering gives it cat-like agility. You'll spend endless hours playing with it. In fact, this cat could become man's best friend.
See your dealer now for low financing or special savings on 1990 Mercury Cougar LS.
Welcome back to our Sports Channel America studios in New York. I'm Bob Papa. One period complete. The Kings lead the Oilers by a score of 3-1. Well, when you look at tonight's matchup between these two teams, the Los Angeles Kings, down 2-0 are going to need some solid play, not only from their defense, but from their goaltending as well. Tonight they're starting Ron Scott in net because Kelly Rudy is hurt. And on the Oilers' first shot of the game, it's a goal for Craig Simpson. Ron Scott is 29 years of age. He's only played in 28 NHL games throughout the course of his career. And it's important that he comes up with an effort if the Kings want to get back into this one. It's also important that the Kings get a balanced scoring attack. They have to get more than just Wayne Gretzky, but they need a healthy Gretzky as well. In period number 1, Gretzky in behind the Edmonton net, and he's taken to the boards by Steve Smith. Now, Gretzky is playing with a sore back, and he hobbled off the ice. The Edmonton Oilers realize that Gretzky is playing hurt, and the Kings realize that they need input from the Great One. During the regular season, Los Angeles finished with 15 less points than Edmonton. Now they're trying to catch the Oilers with 7 injuries. Let's take a look at them. Goalie Kelly Rudy, he has an injured rib cage. That came in game number 2. Rookie defenseman Rob Blake injured his knee in game 2. Veteran defenseman Tom Laidlaw, he has a bad back. Defenseman Tim Waters suffered an ankle injury against Calgary. He tried skating on Saturday. His status still up in the air. Dave Taylor is out for the rest of the playoffs with a strained shoulder. Forward Scott Bukestad was injured in game number 2. He's out for at least a week. And right wing Bob Kudelski suffered a broken finger versus Calgary. His status is questionable. Well, it is time to take a look back at the opening round action in the Norris division, and let's show you the potential players of the series. In Chicago's series win over Minnesota, Wayne Presley stepped in, and he picked up the lack of scoring from Dennis Savard. He only had 6 goals in the regular season. He had 5 in crunch time against Minnesota. Wayne Presley, we salute you. Potential player of the series for Chicago against Minnesota. In the Toronto-St. Louis series, one player who stood head and shoulders above the rest, the Blues' Brett Hull. He provided the spark that Toronto could never match. He was just spectacular, and we salute Brett Hull as the potential player of the series against Toronto. 5 goals, 5 assists, and 10 points. We'll bring you more from our NHL studios. After this timeout, we'll look at Chicago and St. Louis.
Introducing the last word in bodybuilding from the first name in weight training. This is Lee Haney, 6-time and reigning Mr. Olympia. And now his renowned 3-day workout is on video cassette. This is the most comprehensive weight training program ever offered. Totally unique. Totally different. The Lee Haney workout shows you the secret of building body tone and muscle, increasing strength, and attaining the attitude of a winner. But this isn't just another weightlifting video. Lee will show you how to get the most out of your body, no matter what shape it's in now, and without the pain and strain that's been holding you back. You'll discover how to meld your mind and muscle into fine-tuned partners in performance. The Lee Haney workout is only $39.95 plus $4 shipping and handling. Call toll-free 1-800-841-0300. The Lee Haney workout is not available in stores. Call now 1-800-841-0300 and start working out with Mr. Olympia.
America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crowned our good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Welcome back. The Norris Division Finals have the makings of a long season. After splitting the first 2 games in Chicago, the scene shifted to St. Louis for game number 3. Here with a recap is Pat Foley and Dale Talon.
Game 3 of the Norris Division Finals proved to be yet another nip-and-tuck affair. Great theater put forth by the Chicago Blackhawks and the St. Louis Blues. The Blues took a 3-2 lead heading into the third period. It was then that Bob Murray scored an unlikely goal to start a Chicago comeback.
Well, the Blackhawks put all kinds of pressure on the Blues. They had a couple power plays early in the third period, had 11-0 shot advantage early in the period. Bob Murray, though, with all the great chances that Riendo had to face, dumps one out front from behind the net, hits Riendo on the outside part of the left leg and goes in behind to tie the game at 12:26. And then at 15:24, Brett Hull deflects a Gord Roberts shot past Greg Millen. Millen didn't see it till it was by him, and that tied it up at 15:24. And then at 19:51, 18 seconds remaining, Cavallini pinches in, gets the puck in the corner, swats at it behind Adam Oates. Oates tries for McLean, misses McLean as Brown ties him up. Roenick comes out to the point man. It gets by him. Millen makes the save, tries to kick it into the corner. Doesn't get enough of it. Cavallini turns and buries it with 9 seconds to go to give the Blues a 2-1 lead in games in the Norris Division Final.
The Blackhawks dominant in the hockey game, at least from the shot standpoint. 48-28, they outshot the Blues, including 21 shots in the third period. Vincent Riendo looks like he's had more playoff experience than the record shows.
Oh, he was brilliant in the third period, especially when he faced 21 shots.
So the Blackhawks trail in the series 2-1. In game 3, it was St. Louis 5, Chicago 4. Pat Foley and Dale Talon in the arena.
And what a great series it was. Game number 4 right here on Sports Channel America on Tuesday night at 8:30 as Chicago tries to even up that series. And don't forget, Wells Conference action comes your way on Monday night. That wraps it up from New York. Back to Los Angeles after this.
That was all wrong. We belong together.
I know.
So let's get married.
Buy a big house.
Sure, we're gonna hit it big, kid. Stocks, bonds. We're on our way to Rainbow City.
In the movies, happy endings are easy, but in the real world, they take solid planning. So for investment advice, peace of mind, even buying or selling a home, come to the companies of the Prudential and build your future on the rock.
Are your teeth sensitive? Do they hurt? Watch out for the domino effect. It could end in tooth loss. It's a chain reaction that can start with sensitive teeth. Then pain, which can make you stop brushing. That can lead to plaque buildup, gingivitis, periodontal disease, even tooth loss. Sensodyne helps stop the pain and the domino effect. Ask your dentist if you need Sensodyne, the toothpaste dentists recommend most for sensitive teeth. Help stop the pain and the domino effect with Sensodyne.
I love what you do for me, Toyota.
It takes more than 180 foot-pounds of torque to tow a $60,000 glider. It takes confidence. The kind I get from my Toyota. The confidence to tow it to the airstrip and the confidence to launch it.
The 1990 Stanley Cup playoffs on Sports Channel America are brought to you by your Toyota dealer and Toyota's quality line of 1990 cars and trucks. Toyota, a heritage of reliability. Toyota, I love what you do for me. By Sensodyne, toothpaste for sensitive teeth in original fresh mint and gel. By U.S. Sprint in its new world of telecommunications. And by Prudential. Come to the companies of the Prudential and build your future on the rock.
Welcome back to the Great Western Forum. It's Game 3 of the Campbell Conference Blythe Division final between the Los Angeles Kings and the Edmonton Oilers. The Kings leading by a score of 3-1, getting 2 of those goals late the last minute of play, forcing the Oilers to their dressing room. I'm sure Edmonton was thinking, we're pretty fortunate. If we can go to the dressing room 1-1 after having not played very well, we're kind of comfortable. But it's not that way now, is it?
It isn't, Jakes. There's 40 minutes left, but the way LA is playing right now, they score first and they get this crowd behind them. Edmonton's going to have a hard time this evening.
And the thing that we want to pay attention to now is whether or not Wayne Gretzky returned to the ice with the Los Angeles Kings. Gretzky missed the first 2 games of the playoff series with the Calgary Flames and got back into that series. Los Angeles wins it. Of course, he's been in every game in this series. And then tonight, late in that first period, as Los Angeles had quite a flurry going, he gets crunched on the boards by an old teammate, former teammate, Steve Smith.
Steve Smith took him heavily into the boards. I think it reminds me of the injury Barry Beck had earlier. I think his face hit the top of that crossbar there, or the top of the dasher, and I think that, I don't know if it's the back as much as it was a blow to the head.
And as the second period gets underway, the Edmonton Oilers are forced back into their end of the ice. Charlie Huddy moving it up this left side. But Anderson got clipped by a stick, and there's going to be a penalty. Referee, it is Murphy, excuse me, not Anderson. Number 8, Joe Murphy, is now getting back onto his skates. Crowder trailing referee Van Helleman to the box, and it is a minor penalty on Keith Crowder.
Well, Jakes, we'll see what adjustments, not X's and O's, but what type of adjustments Edmonton has had, is going to make in their attitude as they approach this game. I'm sure, as you pointed out, John Muckler is going to have something to say about it, or I should say Joe Murphy. Right here is, you don't want to get that, and Keith Crowder looks, he said, no, I don't want to let them get back into the game via the power play, especially the first couple minutes of this period. As soon as he did it, he reached out and he's saying to himself, right now, why did I do it? Or what happened? There's plenty of time up ice, move your legs. Don't get those lazy penalties up ice in that neutral zone when you can overcome that by just, getting your head down and checking back into your zone.
And to kill it off, Los Angeles sends out Casper. Tommy Webster checking his penalty killers in their alignment. The Oilers controlling the draw. Ruotsalainen into Messier. Tipped it to the corner for Anderson. Back to Ruotsalainen. Now to Smith. Takes one toward the corner. Simpson gave it to Anderson. Around the boards to Messier. Goes it back toward the blue line. Then dumped one in off McSorley's stick. Alcides takes Simpson into the boards heavily. McSorley tried to knock it away from Anderson. Messier sets up Smith for a shot. Glove save by Ron Scott. His first save of the game comes 48 seconds into the second period.
Jigs, not only was a good sharp glove save, but Alcides came out from behind the net and elected to try to block the shot down there. And you see him going down. That momentarily took the sight line away from Ronnie Scott. If you got a chance to block it, fine, but if you don't, let me see the puck. Any goalkeeper's going to tell you that. So that even added to the credibility of that flying glove save.
There are your shots on goal. The Kings with their 13 in the first period. Won by Edmonton in the first period. Simpson's power play goal. And then that bullet, Scott's first stop. Messier on the draw. Controls the puck, getting it back to Steve Smith. Dumps it around the boards. It skips out in front. Robinson feeds it right back. Oilers hold it in, setting up Ruotsalainen. Feeds it cross ice. Too hot to handle for Messier. Robinson gets checked by Anderson. Simpson trying to jab it out of Robinson's skates. Knocked him down. It spins its way back to the blue line. Steve Smith to Ruotsalainen. Into Messier. To Smith with that cross ice pass. He shoots tipped wide of the net by Anderson, and the Kings clear the zone. No, it's held in by Ruotsalainen. Centers. Here's Simpson to Anderson. He shoots. Scott the save, and the rebound comes right back. Ruotsalainen's shot is blocked by Scott. Casper weaving his way out to center ice. Oilers drop back, and Casper dumps it in over their blue line, only to have the Oilers start out with Simpson's pass to Messier. Messier feeds it to the right side, couldn't catch up with it, and Robinson forces Edmonton to go back. 35 seconds left in Crowder's slashing penalty. Down the left side, Ruotsalainen carrying the puck. Got it in around McSorley. Alcides picks it up on the end boards. Bob Alcides trying to get it to McSorley. He's well covered. Steps into Steve Smith. The puck comes out in front. Messier couldn't handle it. Ellick Outraces Messier to get to a loose puck and shoots it down the ice.
Rich Laney came off the ice, replaced by Randy Gregg, but he got on the wrong side of the ice and couldn't get over there to keep the puck in.
And now the Oilers start out with Messier feeding it into the center ice zone. Steve Smith over the line has given it to Klima. Gretzky is out to kill off the balance of the penalty. And it expires now. The team's back at 6 aside as Huddy reaches for a loose puck. Shot it wide of Ron Scott. Picking it up is Halkitis. Good quick move to get away from Klima. Makela, one touch to pass to Sandstrom. He comes over the line. Thomas Sandstrom. Makela moving in, then Sandstrom got checked, and here's Huddy sending it up ahead to Mark Lamb. It's poked off his stick and brought over the line offside by Yari Curry. The Los Angeles Kings got a 2-goal bulge over the Edmonton Oilers late in the first period. They're maintaining it.
The world's most accurate weather radar data is gathered by the WSI Corporation using the reliable 800 service of U.S. Sprint, the network that came through Hugo when AT&T did not.
Let's get that image up. The networks are waiting for the feed.
And if Sprint's nationwide fiber optic network can handle the moods of Mother Nature,
The front of this hurricane should miss us.
it can handle any business climate. Reliable all fiber optic 800 service only from U.S. Sprint.
Teams making some changes. Los Angeles sending out the Casper line. Edmonton Oilers countering with a line of McTavish, with Kekkonen and Bookberger. Game 4 in this series will be right here at the Great Western Forum on Tuesday night. We'll have it for you at 7:30, 10:30 Eastern Time. Check your listings for the game in your area. Peter Preisler out for the first time. Plays the puck up the boards to Crowder. Kings backing on their heels for a moment. Now Casper sends it around the boards for Preisler. Preisler slips away from the check as he fed it to Tonelli. Now to Crowder. Crowder can't handle it at center ice, nor can McTavish of the Oilers. Peter Preisler clearing the zone. Tonelli puts it off the boards for Crowder. He goes cross ice with a pass to Steve Casper. Up goes Duchesne. Casper handling the puck to John Tonelli. He shoots. That's blocked by Ranford, who dives out to cover the puck and hold on for a face-off.
It's a nice intelligent play by Stevie Casper, and more importantly by Steve Duchesne, who has to become more offensively oriented to help this LA offense out. And he went to the net. Casper waited for that top of the slot to clear out, and no Edmonton player ever thought of Johnny Tonelli as he found a gaping hole there, and he tried to go high, but Billy Ranford was able to move out and smother that puck. You look at Johnny Tonelli, Jakes, I'm telling you, they've given this guy up for dead too many years ago, and he still keeps rebounding.
Yeah, he sure does. We were concerned about Wayne Gretzky. Think back, if you will, to a game when the New York Islanders were in here on the 22nd of March. Gretzky going to the net, and the Islanders' Alan Kerr, number 10, will come into the picture as Gretzky handles the puck. Kerr hits him from behind. He falls into Ken Baumgartner and didn't play again in the regular season. Got back into the playoffs after the first 2 games, and now tonight he is shaken up in this first period. And here's the hit as it happened to number 99, the Oilers' number 5, Steve Smith, gets to him as he handles the puck back of the net.
Gee, sometimes they've said this, some of the superstars this league had a no-touch policy, but that wasn't the case in those 2 shots, was it?
Nor a shot that he took from Glenn Anderson in this series, or a shot that he took late in the playoffs last year against Edmonton, delivered by Mark Messier. Every now and then, they catch him. They used to say you can't hit what you can't catch. These days, they're catching Wayne more regularly. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first period, their second period, excuse me, as the Edmonton Oilers will get a face-off in the King zone after an icing call.
Hi.
Oh, hi. We're having dinner at that new restaurant across the street.
Yeah.
They don't serve wine yet.
I know. What are you having?
Chicken, fish, pasta.
Here, try this. They'll love it.
Gallo. I think they might want something a little fancier.
Just let them taste it. I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
Nice wine.
Good job, Dave. What is it?
Ernest and Julio Gallo's White Grenache. It will change the way you think about Gallo.